Hi. So once again, I'm here with my new thought sharing video, and this thought sharing video is related to operation planning and control. This is the basically objective of every organization and every person, that each and every activity should be first time right. But if you want the first time right, then it is very important to plan in right manner. So today's video is related to that. And this video is related to the operation process. So in this thought sharing video, we will learn how we can plan the operations process. Now, this operation planning and control, this we will learn through an example. So let us take an example which is very common to each and every person. And what is that? And that is, suppose one family is planning for a trip. Now, important is, if you are planning for a trip, then what are the things which we have to consider during the planning process? So I think all of you have planned some trip in your past. Now you remember each and every activity, because if you want first time right, then it is very important. Now the first thing is the cost or your budget. The second thing is related to the time. Okay, what is your budget for the trip and how much time you are having for this trip? Because if you are not having this kind of information, then this trip will be not successful. The second thing is what we have to see, because each and every person is having different kind of interest. Like somebody is interested to see the past histories, like Mughal Kals, basically the forts like that, and somebody may be interested for the natures. Somebody may be interested for the this temples, etc., etc. So this is very important, that when we are going to plan, then it is important that my planning should meet the need and expectation of each and every family members. So as a whole, we have to decide this, what we have to see. The next is what resources to be required. When we finalize our destination, then we have to think for that destination what kind of resources is required. After that, the next point is activity to fulfill the need and expectation. So at that particular destination, what kind of activity we have to perform? Sometime you are planning to visit 6 different temples or 6 different locations, but because of some bad planning, you are not able to cover each and everything. So this is also very important, how much time we have to plan for a particular location and how we can complete our journey or our need and expectation within defined time frame. So this also we have to plan. The next point is uh, controls to fulfill the need and expectation. At one particular time, or we have to define some frequency for the reviews, whether we are adhering our time plan or not. If not, then what is my next strategy to come out from this kind of situation, so that within that defined time frame you can complete your journey task. The next part is related to the documented informations. So there are a lot of issues. Okay, when we complete our journey, after that, if we want to conclude how much money we have spent, whether the money which we have spent, that is according to our plan or not. So for that purpose, it is very important that wherever we are spending some money, we have to maintain the documented information for that. Because after completion of the trip, you can conclude, okay, what is my planning, how much money we have planned for this trip, and what was the actual money we have spent for this trip, whether both are aligned to each other or not. So this is very important when you are planning a trip. Similarly, in our next process means in operations, there are few things which we have to consider. What are those? The processes. So when you are going to complete your product, so what would be the processes required to complete this product or services? So that you have to think. The second thing is the acceptance of product and service. How we will accept the product and the services. If we are not having the acceptance criteria for that, because normally in industry people are facing some issues because they understand if product dimensionally product is okay, so we will consider this product is okay. But companies are facing some challenges with respect to the number of parts. So important is how much part we have to produce within 8 hours, or maybe within 12 hours, or maybe within 24 hours. If my process is not giving the desired output, then this process is not good for the management and not good for the customer also. So that's why it is very important we have to consider the acceptance criteria for the product and the services. The next point is determining the resources. So important is once you decide the processes and once you decided the acceptance criteria, then we have to think to complete this task, what kind of resources is required. So there are two kinds of resources. The first resource is human resource and the second resource is related to the infrastructure. So this also we have to plan. The third thing is controls. Okay, what kind of control we have to define on our processes and on our products so that we can ensure that whatever we have planned that is going in right direction or not. So that you have to ensure. The last point is related to the determining and keeping documented information. So this is also important. Sometimes some of the organization want to check whatever we have planned and whatever actually we have achieved both are aligned with each other or not. So for that purpose, it is also important to keep the documented information. For example, how much part we have produced in defined time frame. Suppose we run this machine for 2 hours, so within 2 hours we have to produce at least 50 parts, but actually we have produced the 40 parts. It means my planning is not in right direction. It needs some improvement. Similarly, rejection. We have decided the input or the acceptance criteria for the rejection, that is 50 ppm. But when we produce the 50 parts, so out of that there are 5 parts rejected, which is more than 50 ppm. It means my process is not according to my need and expectations. It also needs some improvement. Similarly, for each and every process and the product, it is also important to keep some documented information because this documented information will give you the idea whether you are according to your plan or not. So I hope you will understand the importance of this operation planning and control. And if you think this is important for your operation planning and control or for your company or for your management, so please follow the same. And I can assure you, if you understand the right planning resources or right planning information, definitely this will help to your organization. So thank you and thank you very much to watch this video, and I hope this video will be useful for your company. If you think this video is useful for your company, so you can share this video with your team members, colleagues and friends. Thank you and thank you very much.